Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with our top stories. Tension in Bagam in the west region of Cameroon as one person has been killed and several others injured following confrontations between law enforcement officers and the population who are against the designation of Josene Fontaine Top Soze by the administration. We'll tell you more in this edition of the Primetime Newscast. And the nasty state of the capital city remains a cause for concern. Urban disorder on the rise and has left many wondering what the authorities are doing to remedy the situation. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Tensions in Bangam in the west region of Cameroon as one person has been killed and several others injured following confrontation between law enforcement officers and the population who are against the designation of Josene Fontaine Top by the administration. The angry population is denouncing the procedure of designating the new chief, the ones Maturin Mwayebe, as their new leader, saying his designation is according to the customs of the Bangam people. He was arrested and detained since October 23, 2023 and has been accused of provoking public disorder. Now, each village has its own traditional ruler. However, this ruler is enthroned by his birth, with the administrative authorities playing a crucial role. This relationship between the state and tradition is not without consequences, as it sometimes happens that the leader installed is not the one described or desired by the population. How far can the administrative authorities go in the enthronement of a traditional ruler? A reporter, Fru William, tells us more.
The law makes the administrative authority the ultimate decision maker so far as the appointment of traditional leaders in Cameroon is concerned. It is the administration that leads the consultations at the side of the cultural authorities, or better still, notables. When the first phase is resolved, the second phase demands that the administration certifies the designation, which was done according to the customs and traditions of the communities involved. Reason why the authorities can be regarded as the alpha and the omega of the designation of traditional rulers. Since 2015, the head of state has issued a decree granting a certain number of allowances to traditional chiefs, and therefore, the involvement of the administration is seen as prevalent and strong enough to play a troubling role, according to Luisa Esomba, a scholar. You know, the administration sometimes also find interest on the leader who has to be crowned because he also has to play a political role. You see that traditional rulers in Cameroon have a huge orientative political role to play, hence a traditional leader for the cause of the administration. What is deplorable is the high implication of the administration. We would have waited that the administration just legalizes the act of enthronement and not to involve in the enthronement procedure. Reason why we sometimes have fake traditional rulers.
The 2023 Tobacco Industry Interference Index reveals Cameroon recording the worst performance, occupying the last position out of 18 African countries and 84 out of 90 countries in the world. The result was made public by the Cameroon Coalition for the Fight Against All for Tobacco Control during a press conference in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. More with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamo.
The Tobacco Industry Interference Index is a global survey that measures how governments are responding to tobacco industry and protecting their public health policies from commercial and vested interest, as in Article 5.3 of the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. The 2023 index report presented to the press in Yaoundé indicates Cameroon is still lagging behind.
We call upon the media men to draw the attention of a decision maker because the situation is very bad in our country. Cameroon rank 18 places in Africa according to the report, and in the worldwide 1 out of 100.
Performance disturbing despite control efforts. The score registered today does not honor the country's engagement with the ratification of the Framework Convention since 2006 and have taken measures which unfortunately is yielding no fruit. As recommendation, the Cameroon Coalition for Tobacco Control puts forward:
stop granting preference treatment to the tobacco industry, to revise and adopt the National Tobacco Control Bill, to adopt the text for the implementation of Article 5.3.
The index used 7 indicators to measure tobacco industry interference, such as participation in policy development, tobacco industry corporate social responsibility initiatives, benefits accorded to tobacco industries, unnecessary interaction with tobacco industries, among others.
And the operation to provide sustainable irrigation and drainage and improve agricultural production in the Benue Valley North region of Cameroon gradually taking shape, points noted by the pilot committee during an evaluation session to prepare for the 2024 in Yaoundé. More with our reporter, Beatrice Ngam.
Plant pest attacks and pathogens account for 20 to 40% of post-harvest losses in Cameroon. Insecticides used by farmers to kill these pests negatively impact on plant and human health.
You know that the phytosanitary products are very important to fight against the pest attack, but have a negative impact in the health of human, animal, or vegetable.
These pest infestations are a great threat to food security in Africa, reason why experts from African Union states are meeting in Douala, Cameroon for 3 days to strengthen capacities on pest risk analysis and how to enhance market access.
In order for countries to import material that probably would be planting material or any food or plant-related material, it's important to undertake a pest risk analysis to ensure that whatever you're importing is free from pests or diseases.
We can reduce the post-harvest losses and increase the productivity, achieve food security, and eradicate poverty.
To better mitigate these risks, structures of national governments work with national plant protection organizations to reach the grassroots.
They are able to reach out to farmers right at the grassroots level to take that technology or the science or the findings from researchers right down to the farmers so that they can implement.
The wish of the Inter-African Phytosanitary Council is to find farmers use best practices to boost productivity.
That was what our report by Gladys Ambo Dibang on experts in the agricultural chain that have underscored the importance of pest risk analysis to prevent post-harvest losses and increase productivity while ensuring food security. And we talk something else. Small and medium-sized enterprises in Cameroon have been schooled on tax risk prevention and the importance of migrating from the informal to the formal sector at a workshop in Douala, November 16, 2023, organized by the Subcontracting and Partnership Exchange in collaboration with tax experts, tax payers were enjoined to refrain from deviate tax behaviors and seek the expertise of approved management centers. Gladys Amodiba reports.
Many small and medium-sized enterprises and small and medium-sized industries emerging from the informal sector lack knowledge of tax regulations and are forced to adopt deviant tax behaviors. Because of the double amount they pay when audited, some feel discouraged. At this training in Douala, November 16, 2023, the taxpayers are encouraged to migrate from the informal to the formal sector without fear.
It aims at informing small and medium-sized enterprises on the fact that they have to migrate from the informal sector to the formal sector. But the reality is that the state has also to make some efforts. If the state make that effort of paying or respecting its engagement towards the private sector, the private sector in return will also make an effort to migrate from the informal sector to the formal sector.
The participants have been exhorted to prevent tax risks by seeking the expertise of approved management centers in order to benefit from significant tax exemptions and reductions as provided for by the current legislation.
The discount is 50%, and regarding also the tax based on your turnover. For the first year, this is the common law, you cannot pay. But if you are a member of CGA, at the second years, you cannot pay your pattern also.
Advantages not at the reach of all enterprises, as some still pay value-added tax.
Ceux qui sont avantagés, ce sont des...
Those who benefit from the advantages are small and medium-sized enterprises with a capital of between 10 million and 100 million.
Parmi ceux qui vont payer la TVA.
It should be noted that many small and medium-sized enterprises and small and medium-sized industries in Cameroon shut down before the second year of their existence because of their inability to optimize cost.
And women in the Douala for a municipality have showcased a variety of colorful handmade products in a maiden trade fair that intends to enhance and promote the skills of women. An exhibition organized by the Divisional Delegate of Women Empowerment and the Family in the Douala 5 Council area. More in the following story. Women are now an important link in the entrepreneurial chain in Cameroon. They help improve the local economic fabric. However, they still face a lot of difficulties in accessing finances, empowerment skills, and breaching the hostile business climate. In many homes, they are still blocked by their husbands and society.
Because the main challenge they have is finances. You mostly find these women in the informal sector. Very few of them are in the formal sector. Why? Because they lack finances. So the objective of this is visibility.
The Divisional Delegate of Women Empowerment and the Family at the Douala 4 Council is constantly afield seeking means of empowering women. This maiden edition of a trade fair November 15, 2023 is seen as an answer to women working in the dark.
Because today you will see many women in many domains. They are able to defend their rights. They are able to take decisions on their own. They are able to fight with their family because, MINPROF is working mostly with these vulnerable women. And you found widows among them. And left behind with their children, they are forced to do something. So now I think they are empowered because some of them are capable to go to the justice to seek for advice and fight for the rights of their children and their own rights.
Here at this explanade of the Senior Divisional Office, the women are exhibiting a variety of colorful handmade products as parts of the maiden trade fair that intends to enhance the skills of women. By these, they are promoting made-in-Cameroon products.
Why we had this initiative of presenting to the population of Douala 4 and the surrounding what they can do to give a visibility. Why not call on the sponsor that can help them to boost their activity?
The women have all called on other fellow women to breach poverty by engaging in trades or craft works, even means starting with a minimal capital, the only means of being self-sufficient. And the nasty state of the capital city, Yaoundé, is a cause for concern. Urban disorder on the rise and has left many wondering. And in an attempt to restore sanity within the city mayor, Masi Atangana, yesterday launched a massive clean-up campaign. Our reporter, Hyson Chia, was part of that clean-up campaign. He's sorry.
The disorder in the city of Yaoundé is in a pathetic state and warrants urgent and efficient measures. Not only is the town dirty with heaps of abandoned garbage at every corner of the streets, vendors selling comfortably on pedestrian tracks, motorbike riders crowded even at restricted road junctions, these among many irresponsible practices. And on Thursday, November 16, the city mayor, Luc Messi Atangana, and his boys were out to demolish all the unwanted structures contributing to the reigning disorder. The mayor equally launched a massive cleanup campaign to restore sanity in the town of Seven Hills, an action reawakening all the 7 council mayors of the city to get to work in their respective municipalities to change the situation.
Our team has been working very hard, and our street has been clean, as you can see. The UNDEFA has been mobilizing today over 100 elements coming from the municipal police, the hygiene service, and we see how we are working together with the elements of the city mayor.
2 additional trucks distributed to each of the council areas to facilitate the disposal of deaths. But even at that, Hizakam underlines that only a well-structured program on the side of the population can permit them collect refuse efficiently. The director of the Waste Management Company insists that Cameroonians must also play a crucial role to keep the town clean, firstly, by cultivating a civic and responsible behavior. Luc Messi Atangana and his Big Arms Municipal Police in their outing also stormed drinking spot, noted for notorious noise pollution, carrying away their heavy speakers.
And students as well as teachers in Fumban, the west region of Cameroon, have been told to shun hate speech, corruption, and other social vices as they reflect on this year's theme of the 22nd edition of World Philosophy Day, which is celebrated under the theme Philosophy and Digitalization. More in the following story.
Being morally upright, polite, disciplined, tolerant, respectful, and a lot more are some of the virtues preached by philosophers to students.
Everything in society begins with the idea. And if an idea is taken without any critical evaluation, we might acknowledge or accept bad ideas in our societies that will not help our society to grow, or that will lead to demoralization or moral decadence in our society. So philosophy comes in to throw more light on ideas or concepts. It can be political, it can be social, it can be ethical, or whatever.
Described as a discipline that facilitates integration in society, philosophy is today seen as solutions to numerous societal ills, and if well embraced by all, can contribute to growth and development of every society. The place of philosophy in society remains crucial, philosophers emphasized.
Saying that you cannot criticize what you don't know. For you to criticize something, you need to study to know what philosophy is all about. And that's why this day is organized, for people to see the importance of philosophy. So those who don't have any idea of what philosophy is should come to discover philosophy.
Gathered at Government Bilingual High School, Sultan Joya in Fumban this November 16, on the day observed as World Philosophy Day, students as well as teachers were schooled on the role of philosophy in digitalization. Poems, sketches, drama, and a lot more marks the 22nd edition of World Philosophy Day in Fumban in the West region of Cameroon.
And students who registered exceptional results last academic year in officials' examination were on November 15 presented to the literal governor, received by his representative. They were congratulated and advised to keep up with a good job. More with Fru William.
Diasporans contribute at least 10% to the economic development of their countries of origin. Beyond their well-known role as senders of remittances, diasporans can also promote trade, create businesses, wealth, employment, and a lot more.
10% the contribution of the diaspora. We look at local remittances about 40%, but we don't quantify the transfer of technology. Because the diaspora, take for example, when they were creating stadiums for the Nation Cup, we have diasporas coming here to bid for the construction of stadium. They construct so many stadia. They brought in so many technologies. And that is very important. And that's actually what creates jobs and wealth. It's not passive remittances to families. That's subsistence.
Dr. Engineer Are Paul Abuno, flanked by both Nigerians and Cameroonians diasporas, at the first edition of a symposium organized by the publisher of Niger Diaspora magazine, Ismail Adebola. The debate is centered on the role of the diaspora in nation-building challenges and opportunities. Panelists maintain debates on how they could effectively contribute to local development. The publisher of Niger Diaspora magazine, Ismail Adebola, justifies the theme.
Major Nigerian diaspora are traders, especially here in Cameroon. No, they don't know much of their rights. They don't know that they have a lot of things to do. And if you look what they are doing in Cameroon, it's a great thing. But because of lack of exposure, they don't project themselves very well. So I said, look, Nigerian diaspora has come to help you to project your image. And we thank God. Cameroon is a land of hospitality. Cameroon have good to us. Cameroon people and Cameroon government, they have helped us to make sure that our stay here in Cameroon is wonderful. So,
if they can partner private, public, and private partnerships with the diaspora and local business people who can on the ground ascertain the security of their investments, we can see more investments and more transfer of technology into the country.
The symposium, November 17, 2023, in Douala, is described as a unique platform for learning, networking, and diving into the intricacies of government policy as it intimately relates to different communities.
First edition, and hopefully by next year we'll be doing it. And to recognize some individuals that have been making Nigeria's name, more greater in diaspora.
For 10 years now, Diaspora magazine has stood the test of time, celebrating Nigerians and Africans making impacts and changing lives. Celebrations continue November 18 with awards to personalities who have created impacts in various fields. And students already started exceptional results last academic year in official examination were on November 15 presented to Littoral Governor. Received by his representative, they were congratulated and advised to keep up with a good job. More with Fru William.
It was a rich moment between students who registered exceptional results at the last academic year's official exams at the Littoral Region's Governor's Office. I am 16 years old and I had 16.48 average. I am a beneficiary of the event organized by the junior parliamentarian that permit us to be valorized this day. This comes within the framework of promoting young persons towards the right path in life. They say it is crucial for them as it will certainly help for their future projects. I say a big thank you to the organizer of such a great initiative. I can say that I am happy because it is the first time for such and also because of the conditions of the country. So when we benefit from such, we can't stay without being happy. It should be noted the initiative carried out by the youth parliamentarian Erchu Fabrice Noel is aimed at bringing a helping hand to the students who find difficulties in their studies despite having astonishing results.
And we now talk sports. The 2026 World Cup qualifiers, Indomitable Lions of Cameroon take on Mauritius at exactly 8 p.m. Cameroon's Indomitable Lions will be taking on the Dodos of Mauritius at the Douala Japoma Stadium. The crucial encounter comes within the framework of the first round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Cameroon have met with Mauritius on 4 occasions, securing back-to-back victories. Is expected by the many fans to secure another outstanding victory tonight. Rugo Besson and his boys are hence expected to register good results tonight. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language and Canal to International. Thanks so much for watching. But coming just next door is the French news at exactly 6:30, presented by Michael Kiptio. And at exactly 7 p.m. we'll have a special program. Canada International will be providing you with a special program on the matches around, or the ambience around, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon as they take on Mauritius at exactly 8 p.m. As for me, I will be back by this time around on Monday in the company of our programs. Good night.